This is Rob Tebbutt for ID Boxing, joined by legendary promoter Bob Arum. We're here at the Art of Beterbiev and Anthony Yarde press conference. Bob, I'm very excited about the fight. How about you?
Sure. I mean, you get two guys who really know how to punch, know how to fight. Two brave guys. What can be better? That's what boxing is all about. I mean, if this fight goes to a decision, I would be shocked. I would think that whichever way it goes, the winner will win by knockout.
I want to touch on something that you said at the press conference. You, of course, have worked with an esteemed list of fighters throughout the years. You mentioned Bob Foster, you mentioned our own John Conti at light heavyweight. Where would you rank Artur Beterbiev among those great light heavyweights?
The truth is, I have never seen a light heavyweight punch like this kid, Artur Beterbiev. Never seen that kind of concussive power from a 175-pounder. Never. Including Conte, who could punch, including Bob Foster, who could punch. But I've never seen anything like it. So, again, and Yarde is a hell of a puncher. So these guys would be competitive with any of the old light heavyweights that I mentioned. Conte, Foster, Jorge Almada, which was a terrific light heavyweight.
You mentioned there about Anthony Yarde. Of course, he came up short against Sergei Kovalev a few years ago in Chelyabinsk. How familiar are you with him, and what type of threats does he pose to Artur?
Well, a big threat. I think he was overcome. You know, when you go to a foreign country to fight, like Russia, you know, and getting acclimated is very, very difficult in a country like that. And I think that he was having trouble getting acclimated, and there were at times when I thought he was coming on that he could knock out Kovalev, but Kovalev survived and ended up stopping him. You know, so I don't give a lot of points for that fight because it was a strange environment for Yarde. I think Yarde in his hometown in London is going to do a lot better with Beterbiev than he did with Kovalev.
Now, of course, both fighters will be firmly fixed on January the 28th, but you, in your role as a promoter, obviously has to look at the long game, particularly with Beterbiev, your fighter. A lot of boxing fans want to see that undisputed fight against Dimitri Bivol. Where does that look? I mean, I was in Acapulco at the WBC convention a couple of weeks ago. Mauricio Suleiman said that after this fight, Callum Smith, the WBC mandatory, would be next for Artur. What can you tell me about that, Bob?
Well, that's good. You know, I think Callum Smith is a good fighter, and we get by this fight with Yarde. Why not take on Callum Smith? If a Bivol fight is to be made, it won't be till the end of next year, because I think Bivol is looking for a rematch with Canelo, which would be a lot more lucrative for him.
Where would that, I mean, I appreciate we're looking significantly further ahead, but where would that fight be positioned from a network perspective? Of course, Artur is boxed on ESPN, Bivol is boxed on DAZN. What about the political side of that?
As you said, this is way down the road, so we'll figure that out. No reason why it can't be figured out. I'm not going to let any network problems stop a fight that should be made. But that is for tomorrow. Today, I don't have that problem. With Callum Smith, I won't have that problem. So I'm content with that.
Okay, before I let you go, Bob, and we enjoy some heavyweight action tonight, how does this fight end? Artur Beterbiev versus Anthony Yarde on January the 28th?
By knockout. By knockout within 8 rounds. Now, if it ends with knockout like I believe, I think my guy gets his hand raised. But Yarde is in with a hell of a shot.
Okay, Bob Arum, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for speaking to ID Boxing. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you.